You know, for the past 55 years, there's been a war going on in New Brunswick in Kouchibouguac. The people that were expropriated from the land by a combination effort by Louis Robichaud and then Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, Robichaud being a partial First Nation person with Francophone background, kicked the residents of Kouchibouguac off their land to make a Parks Canada location there and had their land and their families shifted through an expropriation. The guy that basically has been the strongest battler of that event was Jackie Vautour, who from 1969 to his death 3 years ago battled in every way possible by staying on the land, by taking it into court, by refusing to leave. He basically fought for the rights of Acadian Metis as best he could. And although it was a complicated situation, and although certain agreements were made and certain agreements were not followed to the letter on both sides, we have in 2024 kind of a rehash of the situation. Now, as it stands right now, ladies and gentlemen, Edmond Vautour, who was the son of Jackie, is he and his family are in the midst of an ongoing situation where charges have been laid and various intimidation tactics by Parks Canada and their affiliates in the RCMP have been going on. Now, according to a press release from Monsieur Vautour, he said, after the passing of my father in 2021, Parks Canada kept harassing our family to leave the lands, which we refused. In spring 2023, Parks Canada, the RCMP, and this is allegation, of course, a company from Prince Edward Island came to Kouchibouguac and blocked the access to our land. The company and trucks and trailers were brought in, had duct tape on their licenses to hide where they were from. They spent most of the night destroying everything on the property and buried most of it on site. This was the spring of 2023. Now, it eventually came back in November, according to Monsieur Vautour, and blocked access to land again to dig up everything they had buried. They eventually charged my brother and sister at that time. Following the next summer, my brother Rocky would go down to the land to cut the grass to keep clean because my father and brother's ashes are buried there in the land. And also, of course, to make a sacred fire. Now, here it becomes interesting. Many times the park wardens would be harassing Rocky not to cut the grass. And one day in June, the wardens attacked my brother. The ambulance and the RCB had to come to the land because of that attack. He was charged. On the 1st of July, Rocky, a daughter Courtney, and Paige were there with the kids and grandkids. They went back on the land and put up their tents. And I pulled a trailer there with my sister, and they've been there since the 1st of July. A sacred fire has been burning ever since. According to Monsieur Vautour, it's around 78 days to about close to 3 months. But Parks Canada kept on harassing us all the time with charges and going by every day. I visited him in July and I was arrested and put in jail and had to sleep overnight because I would not sign conditions upon my release. The next day, the federal crown prosecutor told them to set me free, and the situation involved no conditions. I could go back to the land, but Parks Canada still charged me anyway. At the police station, it was the wardens that didn't want to override the RCP and not to get involved. I did not feel secure at all being stuck in jail at night with those wardens there. My brother Rocky went to the land to see his kids and grandkids. The park wardens arrested him again. He spent 6 days in jail. He had to eat his food with his hands. He had no shower for 6 days and put in the worst place in prison as he was a dangerous criminal. This is what we're living through the last few months. They want to destroy us slowly, but we will never give up. This is only a little fraction of what we've been through the last 40 years. Now, according to various sources and the Vautour extended family, several members of the family have been arrested and charged with keeping that sacred fire going as what called the Vautour property or his original property. As it stands right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very fluid situation. The media, including me, have been covering this story going back decades, but it seems there's been an up of the rhetoric towards the Vautour family. We don't know if the provincial government is doing that, the federal government through Parks Canada, but according to the video I viewed and according to the video that's been posted, there seems to be a conspiracy to stop the Vautour family from expressing their free rights to say The expropriation was wrong. We should have the land at the park. That was our father and our grandfather, our great-grandfather's location. It should be respected. Jackie's ashes are buried there. That should be a sacred site. Now, Acadian Métis, by standard definition, may not be full status. There's many Acadian Métis communities throughout the province, mostly in the Moncton region, near certain major centres, including Bathurst, Campbellton, Lorne, Jacket River, Baldoon region. Now, like I said, as it stands right now, it's very, very fluid. There's a series of court appearances by members of the Vautour family in the coming days to have give plea on the charges. They've been posted through the Ensemble pour la Justice Facebook site if you want to check it out. So as it stands right now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be doing various media updates and various Facebook updates on the situation. I've been asked by the family to help out. I've been a journalist in New Brunswick for 41 years who have covered the Vautour case from all different aspects. I'm a proud Acadian Métis because my ancestry, again, it's not full status, but I have enough First Nation blood in me to basically talk about the situation. Now, who is in the wrong here? Okay? It's not for me to say because I have to be objective. But if Parks Canada is passing by the site, the Jackie Vautour site, they're harassing the Vautour family. If Parks Canada officials of RCMP are basically trying to enforce a law that's not hurting anybody, they're not breaking the law. They're breaking a law that basically is written away about fire maintenance or whatever. Jackie Vautour was never in the wrong. He never said to the government, kick me off the land and give me money. They came to him and said, we're going to kick you off the land and we're going to give you money and put you someplace else. But ancestrally, the descendants of Jackie Vautour and the other people in the Kouchibouguac area had lived there literally for centuries. So who's in the wrong here? Has the Jackie Vautour extended family done wrong? No. Are the people wrong for supporting him? No. They're getting to a point like they're being treated like political prisoners, like they're occupiers and stuff like that. This land belonged to everybody in the park, the previous park, before it was made in the park, going back literally generations. And Louis Robichaud, as a part of what I call a job development. And Louis Robichaud, there's some question, now this is a little bit of history for you, maybe people don't know this. Charlie Van Horn, who was running against Robichaud in the 60s election, Liberal against Conservative, called Louis Robichaud a half-breed. We all know Louis Robichaud has Indian blood, most of the Robichauds do. So he was attacking and manipulating his own people. Now, can I ask you a question? I live in the Woodstock region. If someone came to Canterbury and expropriated the land, a bunch of English people down here, not Indians or not French, do you think all the English people in the region would take up for that? There was no allies of Jackie Vautour until Jackie Vautour fought back, because basically he said, oh, they're expropriated. He never stood up. See, you're dealing with poverty, you're dealing with emotions, and generational trauma is not just pure Aboriginal status people. All the Vautour family have suffered from generational trauma. Okay? 1969 to current day, there's still charges, there's still confrontation, there's still people fighting against. But I tell you, the thing is, within the Vautour family, the survivors, the kids and all that, there's going to be movement over the next number of weeks in the court cases. There might be possible other legal action. I don't want to get in too much. So there'll be various updates coming up. So we're asking anybody listening to this to contact our local media, be it Global, City, CBC, SRC, APTN, whatever, to basically publicize what's been going on with the recent reviles. Young people have been arrested. Middle-aged people have been arrested. The direct descendants of Jackie Vautour being arrested, mostly for all what they're doing. They're on the property to say, listen, this was our grandfather's territory. We shouldn't have been kicked off the land. We're fighting for our rights. You're arresting people that are not the threat to the public. The only threat to the public, ladies and gentlemen, in this situation is the RCMP and Parks Canada, because they're inflaming the situation. You're lucky nobody got killed over the years, and there wasn't like an Oka or what happened to Mayor Machie. So again, I call on any Aboriginal person or chief in the province of any reserve, even into Listugush and Mariah, to contact your local MLA, your MP or whatever, and ask the Vautour family to be respected and their presence on the park to be respected. You don't want the whole park. You just want respect that is due to Jackie's memory. And Jackie's been dead over 3 years, and he's looking down and he's probably saying to everybody, don't give up the fight. And as an Acadian Métis, I'm very proud that Jackie Vautour took up the banner for the people less fortunate. It just happens that, the situation is in 2024. It's a very tense situation. Will it be solved? I hope it does. I hope there's a fairness on both sides. But when you're arresting young people and middle-aged people and older people because making a sacred fire because you don't understand us. And most of those cops in Parks Canada have Aboriginal blood in them, so you're basically cutting the throat of your own people. Don't you think that the Aboriginal elders would be ashamed if you did that to their own people? There is more Acadian Métis in the province than there are Standish Indians. We all know that. So it's time to be counted. Be found, be heard, be peaceful. Don't ask for a confrontation that will lead to violence. Basically, peaceful resistance. All you can do. And if this is finally solved, Jackie would probably say, thank you for finally solving this. That land should be never taken in the first place. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's our editorial on I call l'affaire Jackie Vautour, the Jackie Vautour affair. It's basically 55 years, ladies and gentlemen. The longest standing dispute in probably North American history of Aboriginal people not involving status Indians. We must exist because it's been 55 years they've been fighting against us, saying we are proud of Acadian Métis. I'll leave you this, ladies and gentlemen. We'll leave the comment section open. Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe, or share. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you as a person, even if you're not Aboriginal, can take up this cause because fairness should win out here. You must respect, all New Brunswickers should respect each other. And Jackie needs to be respected more in his extended family. And these cops that did that in Parks Canada, I hope you sleep good at night because you don't support me, I don't support you. I pay your salary and you're doing this to my people. Maybe you should look in the mirror. If you're ever hearing this podcast, look in the mirror. Like, what do you stand for? Do you stand for fairness or you just stand for a cliche? And that's what you are, a cliche. You arrest protesters because they're saying you wronged us. It's not Jackie Vautour started it. It's you guys. The federal and provincial government colluded. You started it. And if you started, you can finish it. Apologize. That's another thing, too. You need a blanket apology. We are sorry. Like, fully. No more expropriations across Canada on Parks Canada locations, by the way. That's a rule change. That's good. So thanks for listening, ladies and gentlemen, and have a good evening.